And a new study has found that men are happy to be with a partner who is very good-looking or intelligent, whereas women, well, they find extreme brains and looks a turn-off, would rather settle for someone a bit more average. Janet, what do you think about that?
I think in the real world, powerful women have a real problem living with men anyway. So I looked at this survey and I thought, oh, yeah, well, of course men like intelligent women, but they don't really. I mean, there's always a power struggle, and also women who are intelligent and successful or maybe earn more than their partners, when you go home, you have to put on another persona. You have to slip out of the person that you are when you're working, and you have to do a lot of rebalancing.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I think that, for me, from my own personal experience, I feel that not all men, I think it's so general to be like, men like this and women like that. That's not the case. It's so diverse. But I do feel that sometimes men are brought up in a certain way to be, and they're told they're going to provide and they're going to be strong and they're going to be, you know, the man of the house. And I do think that sets them up to find it very difficult when that role isn't available to them and the woman takes that role. And I think it's very hard for a man to then say, well, who am I and where's my place in this dynamic?
Is that what happened to you, Shirley?
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I mean, you know, I would like to think I was friendly with my ex-husband for all these years. We were married for 22 years. We have a beautiful son together. But then the minute I got the job, he decided to write my life story in the newspaper 2 days before the show aired. We've had 30-odd years to talk about whatever bothered him, but not just with that, just with people in general. I find that men don't really adhere to successful women.
Is this the curse of Strictly, though? Since you've been on the show,
I haven't had a date in... I tell a lie, I had one date in 3 years. So right now...
I can't believe it.
Oh, believe it. It's true.
But Shirley, once you were a judge on Strictly, everybody in Great Britain knew who you were. Has that impacted on your social life?
I don't have a social life. That's the sad part. I don't really have a social life. So the social life seems to be... Well, actually, a little bit more of a social life if you call going to, like, different parties and supporting charities, which I love. But actually...
But friends?
I don't. It's hard to trust a little bit, I feel, so... It's just left me in a bit of a predicament.
Is this because of, in the years leading up to Strictly, when you were married, your husband obviously told you how you should be?
I wouldn't overly say he told me, but I feel like, I mean, I've always been a strong character. I mean, as a worker, you know, like going out to work and doing, but I definitely had strong men in my life that were perhaps a little dictatorial, that, you know, it was their way or the highway, so to speak. I mean, don't think I just sat there and took it. I didn't. But I had two very, very strong husbands who were really, really quite opinionated. I mean...
And it's not an unusual dynamic to find a woman who is incredibly strong and forthright and successful in her own career, but actually behind closed doors can't be that person to keep the
more
dynamic.
vulnerable.
Yes.
But, you know, I sometimes
going.
give myself a little pat on the shoulder that I'm still standing as a single woman in an industry and successful without a man.
Exactly. Good for you.